Welcome all. Today we are going to talk about practice sheet number 6, that is on types of couplings. Types of couplings. This is one sheet on couplings. There is one more sheet coming up again for the same title, types of couplings, that is 2. As usual, we have got the exercise book with all the different figures of different types, which we are going to learn one by one. But before we do that, let us first see what is a coupling all about, what part is called as a coupling, how it looks, what is its basic function, and so on. This is a very common situation everywhere, that we are supposed to connect the two shafts. So right now I am drawing a motor as an example, which has got a shaft like this, which is rotating, and this motor you want to connect to a machine. So you can see here I have drawn a simple block diagram of a machine. So this is a machine and this is a shaft of a machine. Now what we want to happen is, we want the shaft of the machine, this shaft, to rotate by taking power from the shaft of the motor. That means the power from motor should go from this shaft to this shaft, so that this shaft also will rotate, and once this shaft rotates, the machine will start functioning. So how do we connect these two shafts? That is where the coupling comes into picture. So for connecting these two shafts, a part that is used between the two, that is called as a coupling. So what I'll do is, I'll just draw a shaft, this shaft of a motor, not the entire shaft, just a part of it, only the end of it, and on this side I am drawing the shaft of a machine. So one shaft of a motor, one shaft is of a motor, this shaft is of a machine, and we want to connect the two. So at this place here, exactly here, we are going to introduce a machine part, and that part what we are going to fit here is called as a coupling. It is used for coupling, means connecting these two shafts, so that the power from one shaft will be transmitted to the other shaft. Now how this whole thing is done, how this coupling looks like, etc., that we are going to see as we look at these different figures. So to start with, you can see this figure. Here you can see the same two shafts I have drawn. They are shown here. They are shown here in isometric position. So this left side, there is a shaft up to here, and then next after this line there is another shaft which belongs to machine. So this shaft is of a machine, you can say. This shaft is of a motor, and these two are going to be connected by whatever you are seeing around this shaft. So what do you see around this shaft? You can see there is a part that is called as a muff, MUFF, muff. Now this muff is nothing but something similar to a hollow pipe. So you can see it has got internal diameter which is same as the diameter of the shaft. Then it has got some outer diameter of certain size. Normally it is double the shaft diameter. So it has got outside diameter, inside diameter, and certain length. Now this sleeve or a muff is placed over the two shafts, so that half of the sleeve is containing one shaft, and remaining half of the sleeve or a muff is containing the other shaft. That means both these shafts, they are enclosed, they are covered, they are brought together, and they are covered by, they are enveloped by a common sleeve or common muff, which is partly on one shaft and partly on other shaft. Now having done this, what we want to happen is, this shaft when it rotates, we want the outside muff also to rotate. Now last time when we have learned types of keys, that time we saw how a key is used for connecting to the outside hub or outside disc. So for doing that, we saw that there is a key used. That key is half in the shaft and half in the disc, so that the power is transmitted from the shaft to the disc. So same thing is done here. There is, you can see here, there is a keyway cut on the shaft, on both the shafts. A keyway is cut of the same size, and at the moment you can see the keyways of both the shafts, they are brought in one line, and then a key is placed between the shafts and the muff. So this entire key is a single key. This key is half inside the shaft and half inside the muff, and the same key is continuing on the other side, and it is still there in the muff, and the remaining part of the key, the lower part of the key, is now in the other shaft. So as a result, now what happens, when the shaft rotates, because of key which is half, the outside muff will start rotating, and because the muff starts rotating, this muff is again having a key and a shaft of the other side, the same rotation will be transferred to the other shaft. So as a result, the rotation from one shaft through the key, through the muff, through the other side, through the key, through the other shaft, it will go forward. So that is how power is transmitted, the rotation is transmitted, the torque is transmitted from one shaft to another. So what we want to happen here, that will happen as a result of placing this kind of a coupling here. Now this is the simplest type of coupling, the most simple type of coupling it is called as, and it is, the name of the coupling is muff coupling. It is also called as box coupling. It is also called as sleeve coupling. Now the same coupling is shown in sectional drawing like this. So this is called as a half section. So you can see this assembly is cut into half. So the section is not full, it is only upper part is shown in section, the lower part is not cut. Under this condition, when you take this front view, this view is called as a half sectional front view. So you can see upper part above the center line is shown in section, and the part below the section line is not shown in section. It is shown how it is seen from outside. So you can see this is the sleeve, and inside the sleeve there is a hole, so dotted line. Then this is a shaft shown by dotted line, other shaft by dotted line again. This is a key. You can see this dotted line below is showing the lower end of the lower surface of the key which is inside the shaft. Same thing on this side. The upper line is showing the upper surface of the key. This is the lower surface of the key, this is the upper surface of the key, and it is inside the shaft. And after that, what you see here is a muff or a sleeve. The length of the sleeve is 3 times the diameter. If D is the diameter of the shaft, then the length of the sleeve is 3 times the diameter. The outside diameter of the sleeve is 2 times the diameter of the shaft. So they have shown the proportions of the sleeve, and there is a size for W and T. So W is the width of the key, T is the thickness of the key. We have seen last time how the key is specified in terms of diameter of the shaft. So once you know the diameter of the shaft, D equal to how much, how many millimeters, you will be able to fix up the size of the key, width of the key, thickness of the key, then the outside diameter of the muff, the length of the muff, that means the entire size and all the dimensions of the coupling as an assembly will be finalized. This assembly is consisting of muff and one key and 2 shafts. So all these 4 parts together, they are forming a single assembly called as a box or a muff coupling. So now, having understood the function of a coupling, how it is used for connecting the 2 shafts so that the power transmits from one shaft to another, now we will see the different types of couplings. All of them are used for similar purpose, for connecting the 2 shafts and for transmitting the power from one shaft to another. So here you can see again one more type of coupling. The name is half lap coupling. Lap means overlap. So you can see what is done here. The end of the shaft is given a cut like L shape. So here you can see the shaft end was flat, straight, and the 2 faces of the shaft, they were touching each other. Say, I'll just show you like this. Suppose these are the 2 shafts, then the 2 ends of the shafts, they were just touching each other in this case. But now what they have done, the same shaft they have cut half. So from here it is cut only up to half the diameter. Same thing, this shaft is cut up to half of its diameter like this. This much part is removed. Only half part is removed from this. And once this is done, you will see that half part and this half part, it is overlapped. So the half sides of both the shafts, they are brought in front of each other and they are overlapped. They are given slight taper also, so that they cannot, just by taking out like this, they cannot come out like this in the axial direction. Now having done this, there is again a muff on the outer side. Now they have shown a key over here, but this key need not be shown. Even if key is not there, still this overlapping of the 2 ends of the shaft, they will be sufficient for the purpose of transmitting the power, that means transmitting the rotation from this shaft to this shaft. But here in addition they have provided a key which we have seen last time. It is a saddle key which is having a frictional surface at the base. It is either gone inside or it can just touch. So that is what is shown over here as a half lap coupling. The purpose is same. Next part is similar to this part called as a muff coupling here. Here it is a split muff coupling. The word split has come. Split means it is split into two parts. So what they have done here is the same type of coupling, but here this is single pipe, one piece it is, but here this pipe is divided into two parts. So above the center line there is one half cylinder, below the center line there is another half cylinder. So you can see here, if you follow the section lines here, these section lines, they are representing the upper disc, upper cylinder, and this is other section lines showing the lower cylinder. So the muff is in two parts, and as you can see here in the diagram also, this upper side, upper cylinder half, lower cylinder half, and for connecting these two half cylinders they have provided two such pockets, and inside these pockets you can see here there are holes. These holes are there on the other side also. So through these holes nut bolts are passed so that the two half sides of the two cylinders, they can be clamped together with each other. Now what is done is, like in this case if you see, the two shafts are brought in front of each other, then the upper cylinder, see this I will draw just upper cylinder is placed from above, then the lower cylinder is placed from below. So these are the two cylinders, one from upper side and one from lower side. So these two half cylinders, they are now covering the shaft, and there is a key also present as usual. And after that, these two half cylinders, they are connected by nut bolts. So if you try to read the drawing, see we have earlier learned missing views. While learning the missing views, the purpose was to understand the sectional drawings which are shown. So these are the drawings of a actual machine assembly. So some parts are assembled and one assembly is formed, which is consisting of different parts. So you can see, if you follow the section lines and the various conventions, then you will come to know that through this hole a nut bolt is passed. Now this is one head, this is another head. The question could be which is a nut and which is a bolt. So as you can see here, the threading is over here. Some part of the stem has got threading here, this part has not got any threading, which clearly means that this is a bolt head and the bolt is put from below and it comes out from the other side. So some threading is also there on the other side. Some threading is still inside the hole, remaining threading has come outside the hole. The part of the threading which has come outside the hole, that is now covered by a nut. So this part is a nut which is fitted onto the threading, so that this nut bolt pair together is used for clamping these two sides or the two half cylinders, so that this shaft is enveloped between the two half cylinders, and the key also is along with the shaft. So as a result, we have formed similar assembly, but while forming this assembly, what we have done is, if you see here, these two shafts, they are still in the same position. Suppose you want to fix this kind of a coupling which is not a split muff coupling. If this coupling you have to fit here, then what we will have to do is, for fitting the coupling here, we have to shift this motor or machine backwards, so that there will be space between the two shafts. So through this space you can introduce this muff, and after the muff is in position, then you can bring the two parts, two machines, motor and machines together and form the assembly. But sometimes what happens is, this motor and machine, they are so heavy that it is not possible for us to move them back and again bring them forward. So while the two shafts are in aligned condition, while they are facing each other, while they are close to each other, in this situation we are expected to fit the coupling without moving them away from each other. So in such case, this split muff coupling will be useful, because it is just split it into two parts and it is going to cover the shaft from above and below, and again it is connected with the help of nut bolts, so that it is forming again a closed pipe and the drive transmission can take place. So this is called as a split muff coupling. Now the next is flanged coupling. So you can see here, next type of coupling, the name is flanged coupling. So what this flanged coupling is doing, in the case of flanged coupling, the coupling has got a flange. Now the meaning of flange is disc, something similar to disc. So as you can see here, this part is similar to muff last time. So this muff was continuous on the other side, on the other